Today, we're diving into a huge problem in the legal world, just a complete and total overload of information. We're going to break down how AI is becoming this absolutely essential tool for law firms trying to find that one critical piece of evidence in a digital tidal wave of documents. So let's get into it.
I mean, this is really the whole question, isn't it? In just one lawsuit, legal teams can be staring down the barrel of millions, literally millions of files. And a single missed email, one forgotten clause, that can be the difference between winning and losing a case worth millions of dollars. The stakes just could not be any higher.
So where's all the money going? Well, take a look at this. Right now, in 2024, almost 2/3 of the entire cost of a lawsuit isn't for some brilliant legal strategy. Nope. It's for paying teams of people to manually, one by one, read through a mountain of digital data. It's a total brute force approach to what is, at its heart, a high-tech problem.
Okay, so before we can even talk about the solution, we've got to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of the problem. Let's try to put some real numbers on this digital tidal wave we're talking about.
The numbers here, they tell a really clear story. You've got over 1.3 million lawyers, almost 500,000 law firms. The entire industry is built on information. But here's the kicker. Over 90% of that information is now born digital. And because of that, pretty much every single person in the legal profession, 93% of them, says their data volumes are just going up and up and up.
And all of this is driving a massive market, as you can see. But what's really interesting here is the story behind this growth. The market isn't just getting bigger, the spending itself is getting smarter. Firms are starting to move their money away from that super expensive manual review and instead investing it in better technology right at the start.
And this big shift is happening for one very simple reason. The old way of searching for information, it's just fundamentally broken. Let's take a look at why the traditional methods just can't keep up anymore.
This slide just lays it all out perfectly. For decades, legal tech was all about keyword search. You know, you search for breach of contract, and it only finds documents with those exact 3 words. It would completely miss a document that says failure to perform, even though it means the exact same thing. But AI semantic search, well, it understands intent. It searches for meaning, not just words. It's a whole different ballgame.
And the consequences of this old way, they are absolutely catastrophic. Just think about this study for a second. You have experienced lawyers, experts, who thought they'd found pretty much everything, over 75%. But the reality? They had missed 80% of the relevant documents. So the biggest risk isn't just about wasting time. It's about completely missing the one document that could decide the entire case.
So if keyword search is like just blindly dragging a net through the ocean hoping you catch something, AI is like using a smart magnet, one that goes right into that massive digital haystack and pulls out the exact needle you're looking for.
The magic that makes all this possible is a technology called natural language processing, or NLP. And in really simple terms, this is what lets a machine actually read and understand human language. You know, the context, the nuance, the real intent, instead of just matching letters on a page.
And this isn't some far-off science fiction. This stuff is already changing the entire legal workflow. Right from the very start of a case, AI can help build strategy. Then it can automatically classify millions of documents, analyze contracts for hidden risks, and do complex legal research in a tiny fraction of the time.
Okay, but with all of this power comes a very real risk, one you've probably heard about, AI hallucination. It's this tendency for AI to just, well, make things up. And in the legal world, that's an absolute disaster.
And believe me, this is not a theoretical problem. We have actual real-world cases where lawyers have been sanctioned by judges for submitting legal briefs with completely made-up case law that an AI just invented. It's a serious business liability that has already damaged careers.
So how do you prevent this? Well, the best way to think about the solution is to force the AI to take an open book exam. You see, instead of asking it to remember something from its vast, messy memory, you give it the book and you tell it, find the answer right here.
So this open book method is called RAG, and here's how it works. First, the system retrieves facts from a trusted private database, like your firm's own case files. Then it augments the AI's instructions with those facts and tells it to generate an answer based only on the verified evidence it was just handed.
So that's it, retrieval-augmented generation. It's an architecture that completely changes the AI's job. It's no longer a creative writer, it's an evidence synthesizer. This grounds every single answer in verifiable fact, and, crucially, it allows the AI to cite its sources, so a human can always go back and check the work.
Now, this is all fantastic technology. But for any business, it really comes down to one question. What's the bottom line? So let's look at the tangible, measurable return on investment that AI is already delivering.
Let's start with a really concrete example. One mid-sized firm saved over $1.2 million in a single year, just by automating that manual document review that used to eat up their entire budget.
And it's not just about saving money, it's also about leveling the playing field. A smaller firm was able to slash its discovery costs by 90%. That is a complete game changer that lets them take on cases they never could have afforded before and compete directly with much bigger rivals.
And when you zoom out and look at the industry as a whole, the numbers are just undeniable. The average return on investment for these legal AI projects is a stunning 285% within the first 18 months. This isn't just a small improvement. It's a fundamental shift in the entire business of law.
So the case for AI is clear, right? The tech is proven, the risks can be managed, and the ROI is just massive. So how does a firm actually get started? Well, here's a practical 3-step path to get going.
Here's a simple 3-step plan. First, you audit your own processes. Find the biggest bottleneck. Where are you wasting the most time and money on data? Second, identify one high-impact pilot project. Don't try to boil the ocean and solve everything at once. And third, partner up with experts who actually specialize in building these secure, enterprise-grade AI systems.
So, we'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. In today's world, what's your firm's biggest liability? Is it the massive amount of data you're sitting on? Or is it the fact that you're still using tools from a decade ago to try and find that billion-dollar needle in the haystack?